The Bosnian Empire has been continuing to expand in all directions, but particularly the north. We are no longer content with just uniting the South Slavs. Now Empress Mara, who is on her last years unfortunately, at age 69, will be turning 70 by this year, by this July. So we have set our new ambition, and that is to control all the areas of Bohemia, Great Moravia, Poland, Lesser Poland, Pomerania, White Rus, Livonia, Ruthenia, a part of Pereyaslavo, Chernigov, Vladimir, and Novgorod, as well as all the areas that were once part of the Slavic kingdoms but were later, well, became the major part of other kingdoms such as Estonia and Lithuania and Prussia. We have to unite the Slavs, so that way by next century, I believe, because this process will take decades. So at some point during the 1300s, Bosnia will become the Empire of Slavia, the Slavic Union. That is our final major goal for this series. Because I believe the best way to cap off that Bosnian series, as it's been an extremely successful series, and how do you top what you've just succeeded? Let's unite the Slavs all together. But let me remind you, I mentioned all the areas of regions of Slavia. So that's what we mean by the looks of the outline here. That we will go as far north as Vespsia, even all the way to this point. In other words, Bosnia will go as far as Russia, bordering with Finland. That's how far we are willing to go. And as far northeast as Pavlovo. Even though we have taken areas that are, culturally, well, they're mostly Slavs, but there are some Germanic-speaking peoples there. But we could care less because we care about, areas that are independent and Slavic. And what's our next move before Mara passes away? Unfortunately, we have many peace treaties with the nations that we're trying to conquer against. And the only logical choice to go up against would be the Byzantine Empire. I believe so. I mean, we can declare all kinds of wars, and knowing that our successor, Nicolina, is going to be starting off low prestige and low piety, which she will not look upon highly, especially that she has a bad reputation, that she's a fornicator. She's arrogant, paranoid, and sadistic. Almost like the complete opposite of Mara, who is the most virtuous ruler we've ever had. Despite the fact that she is an overseer, which one would think that, well, think of it like, again, this is to apply to you former Yugoslav peoples. Think of it like a benevolent dictator, like Tito in a way, except she's way more nicer than he is, realistically. To tell you the truth, but again, don't want to bring up his name too much times, other than, look, I respect parts of it, but it's not something that we should revolve around it. No. But still, there's other great men in history that we can look up to, as I mentioned before, like Cyrus the Great, or one of those Indian national heroes. Just pick any of them, and a couple of others. Matter of fact, anybody's countries with their own national heroes that contributed not just to their nation, but to the goodness and righteousness and truth of the world. See, what you just said there, that is a Zoroastrian line of thinking. I mean, after all, their philosopher, one of theirs, not an old one, but a modern one, who recently passed away a few years ago, that this Zoroastrian man once said that we should move away from this tribalist mentality and go more towards individuality. Um, which just sounds like that's something that the world today needs to do. This tribalist mentality needs to be put aside and go towards individuality. Kind of like what we're doing here in my homeland, at least to some degree, if they're willing to comply. Now let's stop with the political discourse or philosophical discourse and let's get on with conquest. As nice as she is, she's still ambitious about reuniting the Slavs. Would it be fitting if I just go on one last pilgrimage? At this age. Let's just go to this, okay, because I don't want to go all the way to Jerusalem. It's going to take long and whatnot. Just go to where Christianity began. Because the most virtuous person who's probably been to Jerusalem and Makana or whatever, let's go with where Christianity began. We're not saying Christianity in general. That's over there in Jerusalem. We're talking about our faith. This faith that united the Christian world, at least the most part. This one. Christianity. That does not need a head of faith, nor need the need for one ever. What? Not controlled by Christian. Hey, who's the owner? Oh yeah, I forgot. Greeks lived there and they kept the orthodoxy alive here. That'll fix it. Anyways, let's go on a short pilgrimage, and after that, we're going to go to war against the Byzantine Empire. That's the only logical option, easy for me to say, logical option that we have left. Which, fortunately, we have this man who has claims to the Duchy of Nitra, our next target. Of course, we'll deal with a little bit of Vladimir sooner or later. I don't know if that would be enough to usurp the kingdom title of Great Moravia, which we'll probably have to deal with that in its future. Time for the world's shortest pilgrimage. For a 1-year-old, you sure wrote well. There, now we have popular opinion up. See? Also, I've seen something. Oh, falling angle. How do you get lost in your own country? Well, then again, there was that saying. Again, it's a line from a movie, an old Yugoslav partisan movie called Sudjetska, where Tito, played by Richard Burton, once said, that kind of man get lost in his own country. But apparently, I did. How do you lose a pilgrimage route to here? You just leave your own castle and then you take a few walks here. Then you would be at the Great Hijaz of this. No need to reduce my help any further, but we'll find a guide. Not saying senility and whatnot. Duchess Toplo of Epirus, my rival. Rival? A gift? Lavishly decorated box filled with gold. I run my hands through the coins as if the room starts spinning around me and my breath grows short. How unexpected and one curious effect. You will pay for this. Start the war immediately. Started it immediately. They will pay dearly for this. It's retaliatory. We're pushing with one claim. Who else? trying to remember. Who else do we also have claims to that we can push? Yes, that too. We're starting all these wars immediately, knowing that our next war will have low prestige, but we get a lot of prestige in the coming battles and all that. Oh, that's going to be a bit off. But it's a start. What's the difference between sees this and sees that? He gets it. I get it. Well, he should get it. So again, main frontier, then we'll take this area, and we'll be fighting them on the eastern front in addition. And plus they're in the middle of different wars, so... And they have less money, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. This is a gamble I'm willing to take. Nordmark. I think that can wait. White Rus? What do we have on him? Don't go up against them. Not yet. That one can also wait. Definitely not Lapland. And also, if you remember, when this next ruler wishes to get more piety, you can always expand the Middle Eastern holdings a bit. Hell, you may even consider going for Persia, even though we were against that idea, but if you need a big source of piety by defeating big armies, well, there's them over there. It's a necessity than anything else. So consider it as retaliatory. My goodness. All because of her rival, the Duchess of Epirus. We'll remember your name. We'll remember you. And the next Empress, oh yeah, we'll remember you. In fact, if we ever fight, it's like, we'll fight against the Byzantine Empire to get Nitra. But if I ever feel like fighting them again, this land here, Epirus, you're next. To Drakion, well, we do border with Epirus region. Good. Gonna save up for inherited tactics and then private army all the way. That's where I'm at this point. Or something like these, but idea, but don't know if I should. Anyways, remember, conquer Nitra, take the bits from the Kingdom of Vladimir, and we know that Byzantine armies will be attacking from the south once they're dealt with. It is occupied due to an unrelated conflict which was Croatia's doing, but Croatia was fighting against the Byzantine Empire, but we decided to put an end to that prematurely. But still determined. Doesn't that cost renown to, excuse me. Oh. Anyone better? Yeah, 8,000. Oh no, that's within the country. Really? Boy, we have our connections. Petty Kingdom. One emperor, three dukes, one baron. Yeah. And don't forget the University of Cairo. Well, if I could just call one ally in, that's not from the dynasty. At least it'll be something. Anyways, finally here, body and soul at the great Hijra of Visoki. As the Jet offers me blessings, I reflect on everything that I haven't forgot to bring me this here moment in time. I've walked the holy path. But the question is, will I die here? I mean, at least I'll die in Bosnia, but at the Great Hijra? Will I at least return to my castle? Return to my capital before I die? Well, my journey's been a long one. I finally came home again. While much remains the same, something changed in how the Ghosti and the Jedi treat me. I've undergone the journey of a holy woman, and they insist that something's changed about where I can see myself or not. Well, it's good to be home, and unfortunately, I am likely to die here. Unless I want to die in the middle of a feast. I mean, go out with some dignity. They are considered inferior. What's their defenses like? 15, 7, 7, 8. No rush. Halt. We'll talk about this later. At least I'll try to be nice here, but he deserves all the credit. Just have at least one in control, so that way you can... Right in the middle of the feast. Empress Mara, or Tsarina Mara, of Bosnia, vested in the arms of the Lord at 69 years of age. Just a month short of her 70th birthday. She died of old age, even though there's other causes that we are aware of. Known to be an exceptional strategist, she spent many of her days examining fields and drilling her troops. Even though she should not also be remembered for her martial prowess, but she should be remembered of how august she was. How august? How do you say then? That she was a true ruler. That's another thing we should remember. Not just a living legend or religious icon, but she was the most virtuous ruler that Bosnia has ever had. She was a holy woman, despite the fact that she never became a theologian, which one would think, but she saw something more than that would benefit Bosnia at a world stage. And that's to bring Bosnia not only become a regional superpower, but it set the stage as she dreamt of a Slavic union. But can that dream be achieved through her descendants, such as Empress Nicolina, as she ascends the throne? A mean-spirited woman, many expect Nicolina's court to live in fear of her. So we get the pass from the most benevolent, authoritarian empress to quite possibly nearly the opposite. This is you, and you are magnificent. And what we know about her, the new patriarch, unfortunately does not endorse, because of the foreigner, right? Yes, fornicum, yeah. Yeah, shut up. That's the first thing. And also due to many raised armies and all that, as well as the opinion of vassals, not many of them are behind her, at least as of yet. Well, what we know about her is that, much like her mother, she is also a, as I said, authoritarian type ruler, but this time not in a nice way, and has a bad reputation. What secrets does she have if she's that bad of a person? Illegitimate child of Sirhan III bin Hakim Mashriki. So I'm a legitimized bastard. And nobody, well, wants to come up and say that. Well, for now I'm gonna vote, and so I really gotta get rid of this elective title. It's becoming antiquated. What is Bogashev for now? Because at least he's a genius, but he doesn't have the strength and diplomatic. High prowess, which is fine. This is for the domain limit. Now, who wants to be on the council? Egypt, you're in. Might as well. Syria. Oh dear. Don't know about her. But however, I can lower the crown authority if you wish to. If that is what you want. Again, I'm a gift-giving person. And we can easily sway them. We'll have to be on the lookout for each and every one of them. What all I have to do is to prove my worth. Because if you get a high amount of prestige, secular opinion will go up. And we are currently at war. So it's about time as well. Especially that we'll be fighting against the Orthodox, which would also help with the piety. Since it's a hostile faith to us. But since I'm not in the field of battle right now, so again, I know she's an overseer. Did pick up stalwart leader as part of Gallant. But I believe we need something more than that. As I said, she's not a nice person, so there's no need to be a true ruler to have offer vassals except we'd rather force it. Well, the diplomacy is questionable. If you have high diplomacy, you'll have a higher general opinion. So we'll go for foreign affairs. Although I would much prefer not to be stalwart leader, but go for this to reduce cash balance. Yes, that would get my stress the 2 levels. Because I forgot. I'm very prone. Do I really want to have a mental breakdown right off the start? But however, you do have this. Since I'm not leading an army right now, so let's do these first. War will continue. Get at least one holding before we engage the enemy. It's a long way. Because of my intrigue skill. Again, she's pretty even at anything except for the learning. And there are those that want to be independent. And that is the hard part. Thank you. Now, there is a real threat of a possible independence, which I'd be willing to open up my treasury to get them to drop it. Otherwise, we started a great crisis. Now, who contributes the most? Of course, Mesopotamia. This is the way to get alliances with them, and it's to put a stop to any potential Syria too. Half brothers. This'll work. It's one. And one more for Poland. This should work. This is to prevent any possibility. Drop them out to the war possibility. Now it's too weak to send an ultimatum. Thus solving that little crisis. But if they want to get together for a Liberty faction, I'd be willing to lower the Crown Authority. And we want the kingdoms to be more cooperative. While we're on our way to engage the Byzantine Empire. This is no time for infighting. But we fear there are more out there from other fronts. Because I'm an eager reveler already. Also, I'm not a witch. That's another thing. It's the first time we have a ruler who is not a secret witch. That tradition's pretty much died out. New patriarch does not endorse me, despite the Bosnian, but it's because of the sins, as well as of the past. Now we begin the endorsement. We don't have the economy like we used to. In order to get them to pay higher, well, everybody's going to need to have a higher opinion towards me. Some cooperated, but others do not. We'll be engaging them soon. Oh, that reminds me. We have all this money. But I am going to be leading that charge. Failed to notice that I'm actually pregnant, but should I be concerned about this? For the prestige. See? Like that. The Prince of Moldavia. And where does he hail from? Here. The alleged prince. Still don't get it. Of course, since he's getting a diplomacy education, which I'm okay with. And Miroslav's more into intrigue. Taking one of our territories, well, then we're going to be taking one of yours. Occupy one of yours, I should say. As a Var or a Khazar. Again, we don't have the income like we used to. Caps at 100, so you don't need to grab all of Nitra itself. Just occupy all of these and defeat their large armies out there. And don't make me think I forget about you. I know it was you. You did this. But in peacetime, we're gonna get you. And you will pay. You inadvertently murdered my mother. Well, we have a winner. We finally got a genius and a Herculean. Ha. think of a name that we do not typically see in the Bosnian realm. I recall, was there ever a pre-Yezda? That's what I'm looking for. And of course, after we deal with Byzantium, we'll deal with these other two entities of Vladimir and whatnot. Right, if I choose, you know, name after family, name after ancestor, well, we'll be using Russian names, which will be odd. I know there's a... No, I got a better one. I saw that name. Kulin, like Ban Kulin. Yeah, I'm aware of those two, which we'll have them dealt with in the future. Wait. Want them to fight them here. Whatever, too fast for us. You say white peace? No. We can do it. They also call for white peace, as I said. No. We can do it. Thirteen. Since we're here, let's just siege that. Never thought we would see Bosnians in a land that is allegedly Troy. At least that's what that was in the mines back then. And they call Morn in Mordvinia. One more will do, but this is going to be a bit, you know. Yeah. But again, they're all Christiani up there. So the Holy Orders will not be up against them. No, we did not gain any piety by fighting against the Orthodox. You have to fight against the Muslims and the like. Any particular faith that is, you know, hostile or evil, while we consider them righteous. There's only one more to take. Then we'll call it a victory. Even if our troops do starve out, then I would get the economy up again. But again, it's something that my mother started. Could have taken that instead, it would have been faster, but... Ah, no wonder. Christiani in Talcariete. Duchess Sorgande of Talcariete. Where? Oh, Georgia. Has announced to the world that she and a vassal converted to Christianity. Having become disillusioned with the teach Orthodox priests, the nobles of Talcariete no longer considered clergy to be righteous and true, and are distanced themselves from their former religious institution, and are instead professing themselves Christiani. whose doctrines they feel better align with God's will. I knew they would see the light eventually, in this most orthodox of places. We'll be hearing notifications more of others converting to Christianity. Come on. We're starving here. Good, but my youngest son will be there. This from over there, he's converted to Christianity, embraced the true faith. Him too. This should be it. He's become the vassal, now that we have this area under control. At least they're keeping him busy. Okay, split up here. Well, also, due to Nitra, we've also taken this bit here, and now we have a connection to the Aegean. Made a good prestige gain, but work here is not done yet. Split up, all of you. Don't you know you're starving out? Some can manage more than others. How many we're facing exactly? Not much from Vladimir, but Junigov, we'll be sending most of the troops to that front. We're not going to send very much up there. So you're going up there too. You're going to be the only army to be sent to here. You'll be bringing the bombards there. Anyone else? They're all fighters. Okay. To here. Last one. Just remain here. Split up. Good. Accuse my spy master of that. Oh, I'll sway you. Yeah, we'll be sending most of the forces towards Chernigov region. Or we'll send one army to Vladimir. To Vladimir, or what's the nationality of those that live in Vladimir called? No white peace here. So we'll take a short break, regain supplies, then we'll begin our march towards up here. Move up a bit. Well, they'll be getting supplies on the go. I get this every 2 years. So this is a start. Doko Conquest is another way of go. As well as Force Vassalage. After we get this, switch to Marshall and pick up that. Well, maybe just go for chivalry and you get that and get a few of these and there you have it. I mean, after all, have a martial education. And subsequently go on a pilgrimage. Alright, let's get moving. We have to stand together to defeat this big army before we make our move towards Chernigov. And go all the way there to at least take one objective. Vladimir doesn't have much of an army anymore. But it'll be much easier to take this. Taking a shortcut. They got allies with them. Be cautious. Yeah, we won't be there in time, but we will engage the enemy soon. Good luck. Man, already. Well done. The war score will be jumped up once we take their capital. But we have not taken the real objective. Again, you're the heir from now, but I'm not sure about the youngest son of mine that should be the heir. If I designate him as heir, which I'll do that if my health starts becoming poor, but I believe I may live up to the late 60s, much like my predecessor, which is my mother. I know you ain't got no spouse, but just wait. We got other things I concerns of. But remember your real objective. Novosil. Take at least one holding there. And there'll be no white peace on our watch. Enemy army. Vladimir. No men at arms. Only one knight. Captured one of their heirs. There's another barony over here. Weaker defense. Just gained 300 diplomacy experience. Got this taken care of. I know they're a bit far off from here, but they're not going to come back and take it, so come to the rest of the forces. We'll meet up later. But defender controls war target, so we have to go for Nova Sil. Which is way over there. To Nova Sil proper. Weak fort level. We can handle it. It's going to take a bit of attrition loss. And man, those opinions are really going to be going down towards me because of offensive wars that's been long running. And the short reign ain't going to help it either. But we'll do what we can to win. And beware. So you may want to stay back. Even though we won't have the rest of the bombards. We just have to take one holding and then that'll stop them from having the full defender controls war target against me. Here it is. King Nikita converted from Bosnian back to Russian. Nikita is not a Bosnian name. It was originally Russian and now he's gone back to his culture. Because he's ruling that area, so he's got to appeal to it. He's not here to spread Bosnian culture into Russian-speaking lands. There was no call for that. Mostly Mordvidian troops with some Chernigov, how do you say their nationality relating to their political entity? Called paranoid. Careful who you bring. And fortunately the Adamites still around, but I forgot. It's an Adamite minority we live in within Bosnia, in the city of Belina. Adamite city. But it's only a mayor. Don't assume everybody that's living there is an Adamite. Why not control the whole objective, which is apparently 2 counties, is Nova Sil. With the passing of Emperor Jochi, several successors have claimed position as Great Khan, with none of them recognizing the others. We're finally see the end of the Mongols as a unified empire. They may not be weak, but they no longer stand united behind a single universal rule. Thank you for your mercy, God. So, the Khaganate, Duchy, County. So, the Golden Horde is formed, and then there's the main Khaganate. So, as we said, this will no longer threaten Bosnia's interests, as well as others, such as this great Grand Emirate of Transoxiana. Good to know. Would have loved to fight the Mongols one time, but looks like we'll never have that chance in this playthrough. Just bring them down, then come back here. Hey, begin sieging this area while they're not looking. That's it for Vladimir. You become vassals to your respective masters. And now, one of them's got a claim, for one of those counties, which they were in the middle of that, but we'll have them dealt with, next. At least that one is a defensive war, so opinion will start going up instead of down. Come on, let's get down there and help them with this little siege that will soon begin. Now, Doko conquests. Titles will be cheaper to create. Doko conquest, which what that is to be exactly, is allows seizure counties required to create an uncreated title of a duchy rank. Because there are some out there that they have not created the duchy titles that we can seize as an alternative to fabricating claims and all that. Then we'll have forced vassalage, because when we advance further, those smaller entities will have to be vassalized by force instead of offering them with gifts and all that. Really? Ally. Oh boy. Holy War for the Duchy of Greater Armenia. Liberty War by her. Yeah, the one who killed my mother. I was just looking at the piece of news that I got from notification, which has nothing to do with anything. And nothing to do with me either, so don't concern yourself. I mean, don't be so paranoid about what you read in the news these days. The world isn't going to get better or worse without you. That's the truest statement out of anything. It's like, hey, should you ever pass away or do what you did, I mean, all I gotta say is, hey, the world isn't gonna get worse or better without you. Alright? And I guess that would be applied the same to this Queen of Chernigov here, to getting this territory that's gonna be way off of our, you know. But it's for the king here, the Russian king. Let's just charge up and win the damn thing, shall we? Actually, with that kind of strength, gee, I don't know. Just get to Kiev before we go to somewhere else. Alright, here's an idea. Once we get everybody to Kiev or Kill. I mean, I don't know why that's spelled different. I mean, we know it's Kiev, but they use a Polish spelling name of that area. Well, it is ruled by a Polish. I could see why. Here's an idea. Well, actually, I may have to compromise here. They got their objective. Just hurry up and get in there. They're all disbanded. Each and every one of you. I know it'll take months, but we'll use men at arms. And the most competent general there is. You, Christiani? Yeah, no holy orders required. Right. put him here. Instead, let's raise all armies here. And they said it'll take us a year. Well, we have all the men in arms required. All we need is at least 20,000. Yeah. So I don't want these bastards. Okay, that's enough. King Amir of Syria will be leading the area. Recapture this area first before you engage the enemy. It's for war score reasons. And then take the capital. In fact, fabricate the claim to it. It's part of Great Moravia. That's for future reference. First time I'd ever barely given a moment's thought, but my vassal king Tomislav of Bulgaria has grown bolder. His challenges no longer pass unnoticed among my vassal. He's testing my limits, but I'm sure to follow unless I give him a taste of his own medicine. Oh dear. He's a righteous zealot. You shall have tasks which are impossible to complete. Got him. He tried to complete his task earlier, skull in front of everyone, and when he hurried to get done in time and displayed his sloppy work for all to see. Bent himself backwards to please me, and yet never acknowledged his efforts. Now he remains quiet, eyes cast low. He will think twice before challenging me again. What's the land? The Bavarian. You got it. Now we're at peace officially. Yeah, why not? After this, I'm gonna go on a pilgrimage. No, don't be a drunkard. Never, ever be a drunkard. Yeah. Oh no, don't free him. He's done a bad thing. He was my only rival. Oh yeah, for Pomerania. That's what we'll go for next. But first, to Jerusalem. So what is he? Curious. None of the marshal, I see. But I believe that diplomacy would be the best thing for him. I mean, it's getting a lot higher. We want him to be a unifying type of figure in the future as I see it in him. But I don't know if it'll be a good idea for me to be, you know, be such a bad influence. Somebody should be more qualified for it. Should be him. Try that. Huh? As my entourage travels through a small town, I feel tugged on the hem of my clothes, starting to turning to look. I see a thin, raggedy man stare up at me. Oh, great lord, I beg of you, could you spare the course of old beggar? I'm sorry, none of my local aids will aid. Though I'm indifferent to his plight, but being on a pilgrimage reminds me that the less fortune is expected from devout Christianity. Well, I do need a bit of virtue, but I'll say in God's name, I guess you could take these coins. Yes, thank you, Lady God. Thank God, was it? I thank them too, generously, if I could ask another favor. My sister is sick and desperate needs medicine. Your money could save her life. Please would be most grateful to you. Okay, for the medicine. Wonderful. You sure recovered from sickness. We're gonna ask one more favor. My God, what? She has children, and well, you know how kids are. They eat so much. If you could provide for them as well. About to have a mental breakdown because of you. But again, I already have a bad rep anyhow. I don't see how the touring goes, so I'll be willing to take risks. So I'll just say, fine, yes, no child should go hungry. Many thanks, only my lady. I'm eternally grateful for I'm in debt to you for something I can never pay. God's generosity is great indeed. I shall sing his praise till the end of my days. You are welcome. Now go with God's blessing and get the hell out of here. Get out of my life. Lately, I've been constantly being distracted by lavish thoughts and erotic fantasies. With all the hardships of my everyday life, it's all too easy to lose myself in daydreams and forget about reality. These desires are clearly interfering in my life, but what should I do about them? Yes, you'll be fine. Just a trip to the brothel will bring relief. Just don't go to no brothel, alright? You're too old for this. And plus one intrigue, and still get a lot of diplomacy in return, so you're fine. Walk the holy path. I'm a pilgrim now. The culture has discovered Renaissance thought. In 4 years we'll get this. 10 years. And then the plate armor will be the last one. Have to go hunting soon. Fetch a fine price. Again, don't put up a fight. But don't forget about the main objective. You know what, screw it. Now we have a county claim. Okay, them first. It's part of Slavic territory, mind you. After this feast, then there you have it. We can usurp that title in addition. Oh no, don't do that. But, unfortunately, that backfired on me badly. If I get stressed, I'm going straight to that brothel. Right? That's what's gonna happen to me if this keeps up. Oh, lucky us. They've become separated because of recent succession. We'll pick them off piece by piece. We'll declare all kinds of wars. Alright. And cannot believe I wasted that bit of money fabricating that claim. So, as I said, you gotta pick up all these pieces here, then you'll form the kingdom, then we can get the rest of them. Prince of Yugra. From Yugra. All the way up there. Easiest thing in the world would just kick him out, but just hang on. Feast is not over yet. Then we'll start fighting these little wars. Starting with you. Didn't need to push a claim. Seize the County of Opava. He'll become the vassal. It's the cheapest. That costs the less amount of prestige. Off we go. You are my vassal, and you get to keep that kingdom title. Looking at the fort levels. You first. Let's count this. Capture her, and you would win. Nope. We'll break it down then. Any siege masters? There's one. We want it done faster. bastard founder. Thinking. It's a lot, but it can wait. It all depends on what kind of education traits it turns out to be, as well as my health. And just for that, you are the vassal to it now, for Great Moravia. But no, you're next. Here we go, forced vassalage as an alternative. Now let's switch over. Which I was thinking chivalry first, but strategy will do better. It's just to pick up this perk. I guess for all of this, but that's only assuming if I lead an army myself. Dynamo? You too. If you capture the count, we win. We don't got him. Not a barony there, to be aware. Every damn time. Yeah. It's just to stop a rivalry. We don't want rival kings. It'll be bad for the Empire. Well, just capture it. Don't engage him. It's a waste of time and lives. Okay, we skipped over a bit. So let's do something here. I'm gonna designate you heir right now. We're gonna start yet another one. Seems we don't need ducal conquest. You could just seize it, and we could seize everything from there. Well, what do vassals think of me? I mean, there are some rivals out there. Just I feel something that may be coming up. Of course. Let's go. Get all the mods. Huh. Empress Nicoleta rests in the arms of the Lord at 52 years of age. She died under mysterious circumstances. A woman of unparalleled prowess, she finally found an opponent she could not overpower. Emperor cooling ascends to the throne. Merely 5 years old, he will need to rely on accounts during the first years of his rule. You see, I felt something was up about this. She's been assassinated. I knew she was a bad person, but did you think one of her rivals might have got her? You think it's somebody within this court? Who? That's what we want to know. I'm sorry that I'm shouting, but still. This is what happened on her last day. Joined the duck at the feast when suddenly grew feel throat swell and my limbs grow sore. Could feel what's coming, but could do nothing to stop it. Small form of vision darkens, and this shouts a laugh turned to a horrified scream slowly drifted away from me. So much to live for. Murdered by an unknown assailant. This isn't good. We'll have the same council. And I'll be given gifts. But at least this time, there will be no factions that'll be joining because perhaps we may have to negotiate alliances with some. You know, it's regarding, patrols and whatnot. But now we have a new emperor / czar. It's Kulin Nikolinich, but this is a very bad time. I mean, it's fine that we're seizing everything here, but somebody's been assassinated. And we don't know who did it. And the domain limit is down, and all that. We don't have like what we used to. In fact, we still have the Middle Eastern areas. Only the Liberty faction, which again, we'll be willing to move down a crown authority, but if it's independence, we'll have to fight for it, to keep it. There is a new patriarch who barely endorses me. My guardian is the same, my uncle. So, hostilities must be halted. Do not have a... No, no, no. This we do. This is for his claims, but... How many baronies? Of just one. He's got 2 in actuality, so... We can engage 1 war, and then once you have the title, then you can seize the rest. But give it a moment. They all hated my mother. But now there may be potential uprisings, which is extremely concerning. And there is no way that we can turn all this around, because the one thing I'm trying to prevent is an independence war. I'm fine with lowering the crown authority, but I cannot afford them seceding from the Bosnian Empire. But if I give in to their demands now, I would be seen as very weak. And this would be the Byzantine Empire is too busy fighting each other, so they won't get the opportunity to beat us up. The real question is, how do we see them? mean, I could never give in to their demands. Unless, it's just an example, alright? Of why do we have them. I have to compromise here. Hang on. Who contributes the most? 21? 25. Mind if I? I don't even know who she is. I recognize the anxious look of my servants. I here bring bad news. My lord, you must come quickly. Count Navo, I was seen leaving the chambers of your kinswoman Theodora. It's gonna let me one thing. Love her. And you want to tell me that sort of thing? Hang on, hang on, hang on. Accepted. Thank you. So that'll prevent it. Well, we'll have a few unruly Egyptians down there. But, however, Mesopotamia at least would also cause trouble. Brother? So independence factions lessened. Egypt has most. But Bugisha, who was the but we had to switch that because apparently my mother, I don't know how she saw it coming, but she saw it coming. Independence factions disband, but they had to create a new one immediately. Again, very willing to, so we're settling this. There you go. Now just wait a while, alright? Wait. I don't know, should I? But because I need someone I could trust, you know, to watch my back. Because, you know, assassination happened and that lack of intrigue or the discovery of a plot, we couldn't get it. I'm not sure I could trust Zivka. Listen, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to help me, alright? Because I need to know if there's anyone against me. Just like what they did with Mother. Oh, I'm so damn scared. Now it's Syria. And I have no children, and no half-brothers to spare. No. Let me see. Look, you already got them. Here. Apparently I had another half-sister. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Okay, factions disband. Anybody else? Keep an eye on things. Again, we'll be willing to lower crown authority, but independence, unacceptable. Cannot let that happen. Latium's rather concerning. Fortunately, they're all grown-ass people, but... Father, I know you're probably not in good health, but this is for the security of the realm. Which again, I'm too young, so I'll be willing to lower the crown authority. You'll get your wish, alright? Whoever's asking. You'll all get your wish. Send your ultimatum, and I will comply. But if any of them seeks independence, we're going to try to prevent that from occurring. And at the same time, prevent any plots that's going to be up against me. Because I am not willing to continue on these conquests until the matter is settled. It's a horrific tragedy. Who's the heir to the empire? Father. Wrong dynasty. Oh boy. And it's going to take a long time before, yeah. At least they'll look me up slightly highly. Again, I'm not ending this episode until this crisis is settled. And try to discover any plot that's against me. We'll get them soon, but just scared. I know my mother was a bad woman, but I didn't think they would have the audacity to do that. And and because of these actions, they're destabilizing Bosnia on a road to unite all the Slavic peoples. I'm just at a loss for words. You got 11 months. Just do it. Shoot. That probably means... Oh, no, he died. I thought it was... You know, it means the patrol was off. Who's the new Bond? And again, they highly dislike me because... I mean, over the domain limit is one thing, but... I am not willing to give away parts of Bosnia. I mean, willing to keep Constantinople. But the parts of Bosnia do not belong to anybody. Not now, not ever. I'm willing to stubbornly keep it for myself. Well, that could be that very reason, then. Thinking. No, if I land any of the Teslovich within Bosnia, I mean, sure, we'll lower the domain limit, but it'll get rid of, you know, these alliances that we made locally. Just gonna have to deal with it, kid. I don't know what to tell you. Surprised you're not a powerful vassal. And remember, should there ever be a civil war because of all this, we'll be bringing mercenaries with that kind of money. Inherited tactics, that's what I was saving up on. Could switch to stewardship if I wanted to have more of this, but can't guarantee that. Okay, you got me. Alright. Crown authority is lowered. As you wish. Oh, hell. Have this disband and we'll see who else that we're gonna have to deal with here. Jerusalem is the faction leader. We've already paid her. That's not an option. So it's either that or give away some of the areas. And you got a year until, you know that. Could this be the beginning of Bosnia's decline? We can't know for certain. Anyone else who's not been betrothed? Well, we've done all we can. And if there is going to be a massive civil war, then we'll be willing to put up a fight against them. By hook or by crook, but I just don't know. Unless there's nobody that we would imprison. That'll be tyranny. Unless somebody's really compliant and idiotic, but... Even her. Maybe we should just give away the northern parts of Bosnia to this whole countess here. Okay. We'll get them back in the future. You know, as in revoked titles, and then they would have to be very compliant to it. Hopefully this would avert the crisis. If not, then take the full brunt of it. I'm out walking with Vanished when I hear it. It's a tiny, frail, scared. I look over and under every stone, around every corner, behind every bush. I finally found it. A small puppy, all alone, sits between two stones. It's my puppy now. My own dog. As I pet the dog on the head, as he wags his tail, what name would suit him? Something historical? Something with his white fur? It's an important decision. As the dog rolls over, when he pet his stomach, I'll find some strength for a while. Wait, I know. I will name him Holdfast. Odd name for a dog, don't you think? Some will drop out, but anything else we could do for you? I'm sorry we've had to fire you from the council. We may put you back in, but it's too weak to send an ultimatum right now. But I cannot guarantee. Once I've imparted the most essential wisdom into Stepan, I've given his very own grimoire to take my leave. As I open the chamber door, I hear rapid footsteps spearing down the corridor. Was someone listening? God be damned. Someone knows my secret. Secret? I got no secrets. I got no secrets. What are you talking about? It appears for now that the crisis has been averted for the time being. But I just have to survive childhood. Otherwise, the Empire of Bosnia will be ruled by a completely different dynasty, which is my father, which he is betrothed to, you know. But if he dies, then everything's gonna go to heck. I mean, he would be temporarily the caretaker of the Bosnian Empire if I were to die and he were to take over. Then that would mean, you know, Latin would be up at arms again. And there is a new pope here. It would be best if we were just to imprison him right then and now, but we don't have the means. Just to prevent another crusade, that's the last thing anybody wants. '78. Hey, I got something for you. Just to please him a little. So that way he doesn't bother me. One day we'll create Pomerania for you. Getting close to the age where I'll start picking up traits. No schemes discovered yet, despite the fact we have a very good spy master to watch over. Half-brother. Cousin. Oh no, what? Arabia has become faction leader. You think lowering their taxes would also please them as well? Because, you know, I'll tell you what, you know, priesters always upped your taxes, but we can all lower your taxes. We can change that, shall we? He'll be right pleased, you know, to get him down. But it's already been changed. Oh, I know there are others. Levy contributions is another problem. Well, we could try something else with you here. Well, we give you coinage rights, so... Vassal could declare war regardless of Liege's crown authority. Hell, why don't we do that with, you know, some of the neighboring realms? You know, like them over there, you know. Get them to do something. Keep them busy. I mean, we already have them, so... I know it looks like that's too many alliances, but damn it, it's the best we could do. Another way is to, you know, just hire some of these mercenaries. That's just in case. This is just to jump up the number, just to see, are they really intimidated? It was changed long ago. I got something for you. give you coinage rights and war declaration that you can have. And again, our development growth will be lowered. Let's see. Found tonight, which, what's your opinion on it? Not much, but I don't typically do this sort of thing, but this may help. It's just to help with that a bit, okay? Giving you what you want. This one may be easier to please. I could lower your taxes or change it to this, but it doesn't change the opinion. Yeah, protect revocation because you ain't going anywhere. And you could declare whoever you like. And I don't assume it's not much of a rich country, so... There. That should help. It's almost like I am surrendering my... You know... Yeah, I got no one. Maybe I can offer you a award. You yourself. How about it? Opinion ain't gonna get up. It ain't going to increase. I've done all I can. So I could say, please, have some mercy. As me and my counselors are gathering, meeting my dog Holdfast, approaching me and begging his droopy tail. Does not like to be left alone, but this is an important meeting. He will join me. Sabri Upper Kulin, my steward, King Abraham. After disagree to just Holdfast gives a guttural ground. King Abraham jerks back, looking from the dog at me back. On second thought, I think it's a great idea. Such a good boy. As that, I could do nothing. Let me see. Receive good 24. You sure? It overrides a bit. Despite the fact I've already given him. I mean, he'll drop out with that kind of opinion. And as for you, receive good. Well then, here's just +2. I know I already gave you some. It's 31. Well, there's some hope yet. Very gift-giving. The Hour of Pomerania. I never gave you a gift. Bohemia, I think I've already given to you. See, okay, that one will override that. +34. It'll be, okay, a little bit plus here. I never gave you anything. Neither did I. Oh, God. And just to sound a bit desperate, I'm going to modify your contract as well. Here, you can have tower revocation, war declaration, and a bit of coinage rights, and I need to get that man to be a vassal to the future kingdom of Pomerania. No, damn it! And also your tax will be lowered. Okay, that's too much talk. Okay. There. Anyone else? Trust me, I'm 9 years old. I'm not supposed to learn politics at this age, but clearly I am. Did I already change yours? Yeah, it did, because I don't remember. Basically undoing all the wrongs that my predecessors have done back then. Mm-mm. Okay, that one's changeable. Definitely gonna lower your taxes. And you can declare whoever you want. Not to mention Ruthenier is a bit of a far-off territory. Okay, what? Oh, yeah, this is current opinion. Okay. This is just ways to lower it. Okay, that's asking too much. There. Oh, boy. Will you please drop out? You're all giving me an anxiety attack. I guess we could do that to the Banates. Don't give a vassal contribution. That adds up to the rebellion. These are just Banates, mind you. Oh boy. Maybe perhaps it is a good idea to have a diplomacy education after all. Okay, one of them's leaving the faction. Okay, they're dropping out. Praise the Lord. As of late, I often see my Uncle Oster and my vassal king stepping around the castle deep in conversation. They two seem to have found common ground. Never be seen as nosy, but to see such friendship grow, I hope it will bloom. Discovered court officials. Well, I'm not the culture head. That would be Countess Ressa. I've been wanting a sculpt pedal for a long time, and my uncle Ivanis has promised me to get one in 3 months if I start being more rigorous in my studies. Plus 15. Plus 20 opinion on liege. On my vassals. I quite like the kind of study I'm doing already. So I'll be content. Hopefully those vassals will be okay to know that, let's say, oh, our liege is content. As I said before, they're moving away from it, praise the Lord. Yes, I still have Constantinople. But don't start revoking folks yet. As I said, yeah, you don't want to do that. Not yet. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, since it's 1279, every May 11th you turn. So I will say that we're going to end the episode on such of a... Oh God, what a topsy-turvy episode this has been. I know it's long, but I'm sorry, and I hope Bosnia will be in a better position to continue on its expansion towards Pomerania before we take a turn to the northeast and unite the Slavs. But young Kulin has practically handled himself well, at least for now. So we hope that he survives through it. I mean, there are no plots against him, but we just pretty much change a lot of reforms. So Kuland, it has already been known to be a reformer of sorts. And a gift giver. And all that. And he's going to be one for diplomacy instead of military for once. So let's hope that Bosnia stays together. And we hope you all stay together on this series. And until then, so long for now.